Alright, here we've got Sacred Line 2 being played on Sega Genesis for Sega Studios. This is a very unique game. It is an adventure-style game, choose your own adventure uh, slash visual novel, and it works surprisingly well. It's the horror genre, and is, I guess, serves as both a prequel and a sequel to Sacred Line, the original. Though I never played that one. Um, this game is phenomenal. Um, so before we moved here about 5 years ago, me, my wife Amy, my daughter Addison, and my son Leland. It took some time for Amy and I to find jobs. We managed to settle down. We made a good offer with no linked mortgage, and the neighbors were great. Now, it's a perfectly typical day with all these normal things going on through a normal week. The manager of the local baking factory called me this morning for a fix-it job. I arrive at the factory and he takes me to see the oven that's giving him trouble. I find the control panel, it's faulty and it needs a replacement part. I have some, but I need to return to my office to get it. The office is not that far away. It's a small town, everything is close by. But while driving back to my office, I notice something weird going on in the streets. There are people running around, yelling, almost screaming, like they are escaping from something, but I can't see anything chasing them. Uneasy, I call Amy to make sure she and the kids are safe. She assures me that everything's fine, but I can't shake the feeling that there's something weird going on in the district. I might learn about it later on in the news. Right now, I don't have time to check it out. I doubt it's something scary. The biggest criminal you'd find here is usually just some drunk making a scene. Come to think of it, a couple of robberies did happen recently, which is something you really don't expect to see here. It's a really quiet place. I'd even say the perfect one to live a peaceful family life. Deeply absorbed in my thoughts, I managed to get back to the office without further incident. Checkpoint reached. The front lobby is empty. Confused, I open the door and get a strange feeling. It's the sense something is off, but you don't know exactly what. I keep moving. I need to find my coworker, Harry, and ask him about the panels. Apparently, he's not in the office either. We started this business together recently, and so far, I can say he is a reliable person. The only place left to check is the basement. We use it as storage to keep spare parts, so I need to check some boxes to find the panel part anyway. I just don't know which box has it. I can manage the search on my own, going through them all, but knowing the exact box would be nice. I open the door to the basement and step down the ladder. I enter the room and look around. My uneasiness is still biting at my nerves. The bulb is flickering and definitely needs replacing, but what's really disconcerting is the strange sounds. Like someone is gnawing on something loudly. I notice a strange dark shape in the corner behind the boxes. It looks like a man's shadow. Harry's clothes are draped over it, like the shadows is a chair. Confused, I carefully step closer and see something even weirder. Parts of the shadow start crawling over the clothes, avoiding the light, staying within the darkness. I look around and find a portable gas burner on a shelf nearby with a full cylinder attached. This is quite a dangerous toy we used for fire shows during staff birthday celebrations. I take out a lighter from my coat, turn on the gas, and set it alight, making it both a reliable torch and a good weapon. A breath later, the bulb above me explodes, leaving me in darkness. I swing the torch and step closer to the corner. The clothes and the strange shadow are gone. But then I feel something crawling all over me. Dice move. I climb up the ladder if 3 to 6. Try to look at what it is if 1 to 2. Climb up the ladder. Or fight it, run to the exit, head up the ladder. I leave the office and turn off the torch. I am pretty sure I just can't deal with whatever is in there on my own. The streets are now empty. There's no one around except me. Amy calls to pick up the phone. She tells me to come home quickly. There's something weird inside the house. I tell her I'll be there in 5 minutes. I enter the car, slip the torch between the seats, and start driving. Driving home, I see Amy standing on the porch, anxiously waiting for me. So I'm going to stop right here and say that I just absolutely love the visual aesthetic of the game. I love the still images. The writing is really well done. And it's just an eerie game. It really is an eerie game. She looks worried. I hug her and ask her what's going on. She tells me Edison spoke of wanting to get her Foxamon plushie from under the bed, and something underneath refuses to return it. At first, Amy thought it was just Addison's imagination, but then she saw shadows moving under the bed. The same thing happened in the wardrobe when she opened it. The unease digs into my bones. I enter the house, and Addison and Leland are standing near the door. I hug them both. They look scared, but seem more confident now that both Mom and Dad are near to support them. I enter Addison's room. Look around the room, or look under the bed. I look under the bed. I look at the bed, and notice a Tremont plushie sitting near their pillows. I guess it's time for their friend to return to the bed. I let myself on the floor to look underneath. The shadows look wrong. They have a living quality, breathing slightly. There's a dino toy near my toy box, with a small flashlight built into it. I grab it and turn it on. The ray of light coming from the flashlight is weak, but I can see the shadows underneath the bed crawl away from it. The beam looks like milk being poured into coffee. The shadows seem afraid of it. It's keeping them back. I think we can manage to survive in the daylight. But what could the shadows do when there's no sunlight streaming in from the windows to stop them? Staying in the light beam, I carefully reached out my hand to take the plushie. I go back to the living room. So what I think is interesting is the entire game is seemingly random. I played this game earlier, and it was a completely different dialogue. So I really like the fact that it's portions of it at least are random. And it's really kind of a neat take on this style of game, and not something I've seen really on Sega Genesis, which is really cool. Really neat to see this. I think it's a great game. If you guys like visual novels, if you guys like horror, with choose your own elements to it, this game's definitely a game to pick up. I believe it's still available digitally. It's not available physically as far as I understand it. But yeah, if you guys want to pick this game up, I'll leave a link to push the game description down below. I want to thank my casters for today. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. As always, next time, take care and happy gaming.